Na kągi, paskutinis 10-ojo teatrų studentų festivalio spektaklis. So, here's the last performance of our festival under the sun. And now we're gonna see the last performance. Matysime paskutinį spektaklį, kurį atliks Nebraskos universiteto Omahoje studentai. Vadovas Scottas Glasseris, Ygos ir dorybės amerikietiškai. Students of Nebraska University at Omaha, Director Scott Glasser, Vices and Virtues, America on Stage.
Omaha, yay! You gonna take a picture of me taking a camera shot of you?
Profile.
We're gonna be late for our next flight. Yeah.
In 2015, several students from the University of Nebraska at Omaha would travel to Šiauliai, Lithuania to perform in the Po-Sau Theater Festival. This was the fourth time since 2010 that local actors were traveling overseas to perform. Their show, Vices and Virtues, American Theater in the Spotlight, was a compilation of scenes written by modern American playwrights. It would be performed alongside groups from Latvia, Belarus, Russia, and other regional groups from Lithuania. This documentary will provide some insight into the process of taking a show internationally, as well as display the performers' work from their final rehearsals in Omaha to their performance in Šiauliai.
Meg, I got everything figured out. I've been thinking about this for weeks now. I'm going to move the trailer, build a little pipe corral to keep the horses, have a big vegetable garden, some chickens maybe.
I hate chickens. I hate horses. I hate all that shit. You know that. You got me confused with somebody else. You keep coming up here with this lame country dream life, and I can't stand any of it. Makes me puke to even think about.
You'll get used to it.
You're unbelievable.
I'm not letting go of you this time,
You
Meg.
never had a hold of me to begin with. How many times has this happened?
What?
Sucker me into some dumb little fantasy and then drop me like a hot rock. How many times has that happened?
It's no fantasy.
It's all fantasy.
I never dropped you either.
No, you just disappeared.
Well, I'm here now, aren't I?
Well, praise Jesus God.
I'm gonna take care of you, Meg. I am. I'm gonna stick with you no matter what.
Get out of here.
Why'd you have to go and run off for anyway?
Run off? Me?
Yeah. Why couldn't you just stay put? You knew I was coming back to get you.
What do you think it's like? Sitting alone in a tin trailer for weeks on end with the wind ripping through it? Waiting for the butane to arrive? I've been down to the laundromat in the rain. What do you think, it's thrilling or something?
All right.
All right, what? Where are you going?
Get some stuff out of the truck. I'll be right back.
Oh, you're moving in now?
Well, I thought I'd spend the night if that's okay.
Are you kidding?
Then I'll go, I guess.
Wait!
Oh!
You can take it, right? You're a stuntman.
I'll go.
You better.
Why?
I got somebody coming to get me.
You've been seeing somebody? Who have you been
Don't
seeing?
you touch me.
How long
What
have you been
difference-
seeing her?
What difference does it make? Eddie? Eddie! Oh, wonderful. And what are you going to do with that?
Clean it.
Eddie? There's a very nice person who's coming over here tonight. He's not mean or malicious in any way.
Did you hear what I said, Eddie?
About what?
About the man coming over here.
What man? First of all, I can't be very serious.
Oh, really? And why is that?
Because you call him a man.
And what am I supposed to call him?
A guy or something. So if you called him a guy, I'd be worried about it. But since you call him a man, you give yourself away. You put yourself below him.
What in the hell do you know about it?
This guy's gotta be a twerp. Some punk chump in a $2 suit or something.
Anybody who doesn't have to kill themselves, falling off horses, or jumping on steers is a twerp in your book.
That's right.
And what are you supposed to be then? A guy or a man?
I'll tell you what. We'll just sit right here and wait for this man. The two of us. We'll just sit right here and wait, and then I'll let you be the judge.
Why is everything a big contest with you? He's not competing with you. He doesn't even know you exist.
You can introduce me.
You can't keep messing me around like this. It's been going on for too long, and I can't take it anymore. I get sick every time you come around, and then I get sick when you leave. You're like a disease to me. Besides, you got no right being jealous after all the bullshit I've been through with you.
We got a pact.
Oh, God.
We made a pact.
There is nothing between us now.
Then what are you so excited
I'm
about?
not excited.
You're beside yourself.
You're driving me crazy. You're driving me totally crazy. I want you to leave.
Didn't want me to leave before.
I want you to leave now. And it's not because of this man, it's just...
What?
It'll be the same thing. Over and over again. We'll be together for a little while, and then you'll be gone.
I'll be going.
You will. You know it. You only want me now because I'm seeing somebody else. As soon as that's over, you'll be gone again.
I didn't come here because you're seeing somebody else. I don't give a damn who you're seeing. You'll never replace me, you know it.
Get out of here.
Hi, I'm Scott Glasser. I'm chair of the Department of Theater at the University of Nebraska, Omaha, and I started taking students on a study abroad trip to Šiauliai University in Šiauliai, Lithuania. My first trip there was 2009, and my most recent trip was this past May.
I'm Michael Judah, and I'm an actor that was in the show.
Okay, my name is Virgilia. I'm one of the participants who is organizing this festival.
Cool. And so my first question is just, what is your name and your role in the festival?
Mano vardas, žinai, Juozas Žiūda, ne? Esu reiškia katedros dėstytojas, šiaip tai jeigu kalbėti vis dėlto teisybę, tai ta idėja festivalio gimė man pačiam pirmajam, nors jinai dabar jau ir nusitrynė. Kad tai būtų, pats festivalis jisai vyko, bet jis buvo apskritai studentiškų teatrų festivalis, o dabar jau 10 metai, kaip jis yra teatro studijų krypties festivalis.
His name is Juozas Žiūda, and he is a leader, one of the main leaders in our theater, and actually it was his idea to make this festival.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Secret.
It's a secret, big secret. That's why he's always like quiet in here. He don't want to show up. And after fifth festival, it became international. Before it was only just students from all the
Galiu pasakyti, kad tai labai yra praktiškas merkantilinė idėja, tam, kad šviesti mūsų studentus ir jie įgautų platesnį akiratį, koks yra tas terpė, ar kaip čia pasakyti, tas teatrinis laukas, kurį jie ateina ir kokios yra mokyklos. Aišku, ir patiems dėstytojams mums būtų tai yra kaupti patirtį.
So also, not even for students, but also for lectures, it's really important this festival because they how to say it, they make their atmosphere, make their brain field more wider. I don't know.
Oh, okay. More experiences.
Yeah, more experiences and everything. So it's really important for both of them, or you the lecturer or you the student.
I'm Justinas, Jestajan. I am in for second course of stage art Yes, and it's my first. Iš karto kalbėti? It's my first experience in this festival with my friend. Last years we was four in group, and now we are two because the girls leave us. So it's the first experience with our duet.
Yes, first experience.
It's our duet.
Are you
It's
filming
quite-
everything?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Hiya, babe. Oh, it's me. What you doing? Oh, I'm just waiting for my next patient. Last night was great, wasn't it? It was great. What? So quickly? You women, you read one goddamn sex manual and you think sex is supposed to take hours or something. No! No, it's not. Well, screw you too. Jesus God. Hello?
Hello?
What's on your mind this week?
Nothing.
God damn it, I don't want to drag the words out of you. Talk, damn it.
Had some pleasant evenings, actually.
You have?
Yes, I have.
Been answering ads in the paper again?
Well, yes, actually.
Well, that's a slutty thing to do.
Therapist, you are utterly ridiculous.
I was joking. It was a joke. You shouldn't lose your sense of humor, babe. Especially when you're in your promiscuous stage.
I am not promiscuous.
There's nothing wrong with being promiscuous. We're all human.
Yes, we are all human.
So this new guy, have you had sex with him?
Dr. Free!
No, really, I got to know for therapy.
Yes, I have. Once. I wasn't really planning on it, but...
Is he better than me?
Stuart.
No, really. Tell me.
Yes, he was. Much better.
Well, I suppose he took his time. I suppose it lasted just hours. That is sick. Wanting sex to take a long time is sick.
I was attentive to how I felt, if that's what you mean.
So this fellow was a real success, huh?
Success and failure are not likable terms used to describe a sexual outing, but if you must, yes, it was successful. Probably his experiences with men have made him that much more better as a lover.
What?
He's bisexual.
Oh, yeah?
So he says. Masters and Johnson say that homosexuals make much more responsive sex partners anyway.
Bullshit. That is such bullshit. Oh, I understand you now. You are afraid of a real man, so you want to cuddle with some eunuch who isn't a threat to you. Oh, I understand all of this now.
There's no need to call him a eunuch. A eunuch has no testicles.
Well, I got balls, baby.
I'm so pleased for you.
You are afraid of men.
I am not afraid of men. Look, I admit I find his supposed sexuality confusing, and I don't quite believe it. But what are my options? A 2-minute roll in the hay with you where you make no distinction between sexual intercourse and push-ups? And then a happy evening of you admiring your underarm hair and your belt buckle? What are you writing?
I would like to give this patient electroshock therapy. This patient into a clothes dryer until her hair falls out. I would like to tie this patient to a radiator and...
I think this is obviously my last session.
No, please. I was just testing you. It was a test. I'm just putting you on.
For what purpose?
I can't tell you. That would interfere with your therapy.
You call this therapy?
But you mustn't turn away right now. You are in a very uncharted part of your life right now. You are going out with homosexuals. God knows what you're going to do next. Don't turn away.
Well, I'll think about it, but I don't know.
You are a very sick woman who mustn't be without a therapist, even for a day.
Is this session over yet?
We have 30 more minutes.
Can I go early?
I think it's important that you stick with your session.
I'd like to go.
No, please.
What? For God's sake!
So this new fellow, are you going to see him again? I'm asking as your therapist.
Yes, tonight. He's making us dinner.
He's making dinner.
He says he likes to cook.
Oh, I think I might. I don't think I need to say anything more.
I don't think you do either.
I had a blind email, an email that came one day on my computer back there, and it said, "Hello, we are from theater in Shaolei University, and we would like to invite you to see our theater festival. If you can get yourself here, we'll take care of you once you're here. It's next week." That's what they said. And so I talked with Dean Gail Baker here at the College of Communication, Fine Arts and Media, and she said if it can work out with your teaching schedule, which it could. This was in April, before we got to final projects. She said we will find support within the university for the flight. And I flew into Riga, and they picked me up in Riga and took me to Shaolei for, it was, I think 2 days before the conference, so it's a total of 4 days. 2 days going into their classes, doing some master classes, observing, meeting with students and faculty. And then at that time it was a 2-day festival, all day, morning, noon, and night. And I participated in giving out awards, and I did some workshops. And it was a sudden and quick process. And out of that came an invitation to bring students the following year. And then we worked over the next year to bring a first group of students to that, theater students to Shaolei University. There's a long history of music and a history of other departments having a student exchange. This was the first theater project that had been done.
Pete,
What?
I'm having a nice time, Pete.
I'm glad, Jeanette.
I always do with you.
I'm glad.
And the stars are just... I didn't know you knew all that stuff. After
Well,
all this
it's
time,
not.
I didn't know
It's
you
just
knew
something
all
my
that.
father told me.
Pete,
Yeah?
I love you.
I love you too. Oh, are you cold? We can go inside.
No. I just want to sit like this. I like being close. It's safe. I like being close to you like this. I feel so close to you tonight. I mean, I can think of other ways of being close to you, but that's not, I like being close like this. You know, right now I think I'm as close to you as I could possibly be.
Well, not really. What? Well, not really. Lon. I mean, if you think about it in a different way, you're not really close to me at all. You're actually about as far away from me as you could possibly be. I mean, if you think about it, technically, if you're assuming that the world is round, like a ball, like a snowball, the farthest you could possibly be from someone is if you're right next to them. See, if I'm here, and you're here, then That's far. But now you're closer.
Yeah.
And closer. And closer. And closer. And closer. And closer and closer and closer and closer.
Lithuania, also known as Lietuva, is a country in northeastern Europe. It is one of 3 Baltic nations located between Sweden and Russia. About 3 million people live in Lithuania, a large amount who live in Vilnius, the capital. The first kingdom of Lithuania was established in 1253, and the country grew until the Grand Duchy of Lithuania was the largest country in Europe during the 14th century. It would eventually be slowly absorbed by neighboring countries until it was completely annexed by the Russian Empire in 1795. There was a brief moment of returned independence following the end of World War I to 1940, when the country was eventually occupied by the Soviet Union and Nazi Germany. Lithuania would finally regain its independence in 1990, right before the fall of the Soviet Union. The city we will focus on is Šiauliai, also known as the City Under the Sun, where our festival took place. It is a city of 130,000 and has been a sister city to Omaha for almost 20 years. The most prominent part of Šiauliai in relation to Omaha is Šiauliai University. Since the founding of the sister cities, Šiauliai University, along with Creighton and the University of Nebraska at Omaha, have had many exchanges of varying degrees. Šiauliai is also nicknamed the northern capital of Lithuania, and is the previous site of the largest air base for the Soviet Union. It is now a large commercial hub in Eastern Europe and holds an important NATO base.
This is our home. According to the chroniclers, in 1236, when we did not belong to that place yet, our ancestors won the battle near Šiauliai, and we can still feel the spirit of the victory gained in the Battle of Saulė. Despite being the center of northern Lithuania, Šiauliai is the city of the sun. Our town is also regarded as the 4th largest Lithuanian city with population of 130,000. We are surrounded by water. The Lake Stalša and Rekyva ripple in our city. We stroll along one of the oldest pedestrian boulevards in Europe, and the fabled Hill of Crosses is ours. We have been the first to build a modern sport arena of European standards glimmering with colors of the rainbow. We think ahead as initiate the industry park. This is where we live, and welcome our guests.
Hello, my name is Dawn. It's very nice to meet you. How do you do? My name is Dawn.
Velcro!
Excuse me?
Oh, Velcro! Bell job, Freundling. Harvard Jew.
How do you do? My name is... I'm sorry.
Boop, boop, boop. Warte, Freundling, warte.
I'm very sorry to bother you.
Ma clatul barbinito. Ventricle, police.
Really, I think I have the wrong place.
Oh, don't Her police, Plopticha.
Well, just for a second.
Argo. Beljar, Frühling, Harvard Jew.
Beljar?
A bell jar! Bell jar. Bell jar.
Is that good day?
Bell jar of a good day. If Harvard Jew.
Harvard University?
Harvard U.
How are you?
Bellini, bonanza Bellini.
Is this 30 East 7th?
Thirsty oyster heaven.
The School of Unamunda?
Hej tarftara unamunda. Kakadeni. What Kennedy do for you?
Excuse me?
What Kennedy do for you?
Well, I saw an ad in the newspaper. Learn Unamunda, the universal language.
Lick unamunda. Da lingua universal.
The language that will unite all humankind.
Da lingua het barf una diversify all the peoples in the world. Da kling think down.
They clean.
What's da kling? Klings to Mary, klings to Jane, or Barbara, or Betsy, Fred.
My name.
Takli.
Die Klink Arf Don DeVito.
Don DeVito. What's in harmonica klings do?
I actually just wanted.
Oh, Don DeVito? Squeegee.
I have a slight
Stutter?
Yes.
Oh, tongue stoppered. Problem aimed to Hoover.
To Hoover?
Oh, da Hoover. Da Wiesel, da Nasel, da Vols, da Hoover. It's cinema, it's cinema. Mock. Het arf blizzardo. Het arf molto blizzardo.
Something's wrong.
Well, dusa klink Don. Iago klink Don.
My name is Don and your name is Don.
Ding! Het arf blizzardo. Oh.
Arf Lizardo, yes.
What's this minxty? This paradons? This coincidence?
Life is very funny sometimes.
Party under the destiny things too.
You know, it's strange how much I can understand.
Intro to Mississippi mente. Lingua pink dama arf harmonia music. Rintintin tabulation. Ep unamunda arf melodia l'universal.
Lingua is language? Well, Mr.
Finniniginigin.
Mr.
Finniniginigin.
What kind of name is that?
Finnish.
Mr.
Oh, police, clink me down.
Well, would you teach me Unamunda? I mean, if it's not too expensive.
$500.
$500?
Cash.
$500 is a lot of money.
Oh, porky me to the munda. Oh, tongue stopper.
I wouldn't stutter.
Oh.
At all?
Absolutely.
The thing is, just because I am quiet doesn't mean I have nothing to say. I just think that English isn't my language. It only makes people laugh at me, and it makes me
lonely.
Lonely, very lonely. So would you teach me Unamunda? I do have a little money saved up. I work very hard.
Die Vettel, Fräulein.
I understand. Please.
I can't take your money, Don. I don't think I mentioned that the first lesson's free.
What's the mattress? Cheers, et cerise.
I can't take it.
Porky.
Unamunda is a fraud.
Freud?
Sigismundo Freud.
Upadava.
It's a con game, a swindle, a parlor trick.
No grill.
Believe it, Don. You should know, I invented it. And I'm obviously not a very good con man. I just couldn't stand the idea of you going out there and saying, Velcro, Bill Jar, Harvard Jew, and having people laugh at you.
Unamunda es la lingua universal.
But you and I are the only peoples in the world who speak it.
Io parla da dentro linguini.
Okay, maybe we we speak the same language, but it's nonsense.
Ooh.
Gibberish.
Ooh.
Double talk.
The liqua we parla is amor, Don.
Amor?
Uno mandamor. Iago arf amorphous mit du.
Amorphous?
Polymorphous.
Verismo?
Surrealismo.
But how, I mean?
The under the destiny, Don.
Are you sure?
When you free fall,
Find it.
heaven
waits.
survival.
Lithuania is our sister city, and then it's also a very interesting culture. It's very interesting to see how the theater there is different than our theater, and then aside from like the theater aspects, the culture, it's interesting to see the pagan dimension to their culture influenced their Christianity there.
I keep saying 6, but I think it's actually 5, but one of them was an extended stay during my sabbatical semester. I taught there, I directed a play there, and then students from UNO brought another play to the conference, which was the end of that whole session, that semester for me. So 2 other trips with students, including this last May, doing other pieces of theater, and one time an administrative celebration of the sister city, sister university history between Omaha and the university and Chalet. I was invited to be a part of that, and that was a conference celebration during the theater festival, so I was able to split my time between the 2.
Oh, hey, Phil, where you been? You missed all the action. What?
What's going on here, Dennis?
Nothing.
She has nothing to say about this.
I have a great deal to say about this.
No, you don't. She doesn't. She knows nothing.
Is that so?
Are you kidding? What has she been telling you? Some insane story about the stamps? They're her stamps and she has some claim to them? I don't even know her. She has no claim.
That's a lie.
It's not a lie.
Dennis!
I don't think it's anything you need to worry about, Sterling. I really don't. It doesn't change anything as long as you're concerned.
Is that so? Philip!
She's telling the truth. They're her stamps.
They are not her stamps.
She's telling the truth!
She's not telling the truth. She wouldn't know the truth if it fell on her head. She's a complete lunatic who I happen to be vaguely related to. That's all I can say about this demented woman. I don't even know what she's doing here.
You know.
Oh my God, Mary, you screwed us up a minute.
Jackie!
I'm sorry, I never intended for any of this to happen. I told her she shouldn't do this. I told her it would be wrong.
You don't get to say what's wrong. They're not your stamps. They are not your stamps.
It doesn't matter whose stamps they are. They're not real. They're fakes.
They're not. Come on, they're not. I looked at those stamps myself, so did Sterling. But we don't know nothing between the 2 of us. Those stamps are real.
They're not. Grandfather thought they were. You are such a liar. You told me yourself that the crown, they're worth millions, they're the crown jewels.
Sterling, listen, it's utterly impossible. Those stamps are fakes.
Impossible! Really? How so, Dennis? Really? How so?
It just is.
I warned you about this. Did I not warn you?
You did, Sterling, you did. Listen, I don't believe it. I do not for one moment believe it, not without a second or a third opinion. But if it does turn out to what she is now claiming, I obviously did not know. It was my idea to ask Phil to authenticate the stamps. Why would I do that if I were trying to con you?
Phil, you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. Of course I'm sure. He put together a first-rate con and you fell for it.
I did not know.
No, you're right. You didn't know, and neither did he. Both of you fell hook, line, and sinker. And you didn't wait, did you? Why wait for Philip? The Holy Grail was in front of you, and you were sure of what you knew. You told yourself those stamps are real, didn't you? You told yourself, I don't need Philip. I know what's real and what's fake. I'll spend. What'd you spend?
Don't tell me, it doesn't matter. However high you went, well, it was too high because those stamps are fake. And she conned you. Whether she meant to or not. You wanted it so bad and you told yourself they're real. You conned yourself, you loser. You think you know something about stamps, Sterling? Well, you don't know shit.
That's not what happened.
You shut up! I said shut up!
Oh, God. Sterling!
Stop this.
Shit,
No, Sterling, no, this is my...
Somebody do something!
Get the hell up!
Scooty, you piece of shit!
Sterling! Sterling, do not kill her, Sterling. If you kill her, you're not going to walk away from it. There are witnesses here. If you kill her, Sterling, you're not going to be able to walk away from this.
Sorry. There you go, Phil. There's your fee. Dennis! You'll hear from me about this.
Don't come back.
Jackie, are you okay, Jackie? Phil, give me a wet wash rag, will you?
I'm fine. It's old territory. Fine. And thank you so much for all your help, Mary. If you'd kept your mouth shut, could have had a really nice dinner tonight. In Paris.
When we came together to do this project this past year, some of the students were returning to Chalet. About half the group had been there the year before and wanted to go again, and had done very well with a contemporary American play, a strong, stylized, strong play with a moral and ethical base that was complex. So we were looking for plays that would enable people to, the variety of students that we had, which is about 10, we were looking for different plays, and the students brought a lot of plays to the table, and I brought plays to the table. And eventually, we felt there wasn't one that just did what each of us needed with this group of actors together. We also had, this time we had designers and stage management with us. We're not acting in the play. So I went back to what I had done in 2010, which was a collage, and this was specifically asked for by the faculty in Chalet. They wanted great American playwrights. So they wanted O'Neill, Willems, and Millar, and 3. And I know there's more than 3, but I was suggesting other people. They knew of those 3, then they had taught those 3 in the classes. So we created a collage of 100 years of American playwrights, scenes, monologues, and we did them that flowed together. It was really about demonstrating the transformational acting style in America, where an actor can both be a narrator and become a character and then switch instantaneously into something else. The fiercely theatrical embrace of storytelling. And that's what we did. When we came back, I presented, I said there were a lot of variations of that. We could do that. It would enable the students to choose scenes they'd really like to do. It would enable us to give a real variety for each of the students, so they can play one kind of character and a completely different kind of character within the same theatrical piece. And finally that solved. It was very easy for us to think of far too many scenes, monologues, and the students decided, why don't we just use the playwrights of the last 20 years. So that narrowed down our search to contemporary playwrights. It allowed us to move away from just the classics in American playwriting, contemporary classics in a way. We did go to some famous plays that are now considered important plays of the last 20 years, and then some new plays. So it was another collage about the same length, an hour and 15 minutes, of 10 actors transforming in front of them and showing different corners of American culture with a theatrical flair. and I think it's very tight rehearsals getting it there. It's not like a regular production where you have everyone essentially focuses just on bringing this play to its completion and doing it early enough and folding in the tech. This type of project was done around productions and around classes, so everyone had to be patient with each other and themselves that it would get there by the time we performed it in Chalet. And each time we've done it, it got there just as we performed it there. I mean, it took every moment and focus right up to that point. And both times it was advanced students and students who were up to the challenge and achieved it wonderfully. I thought the performance was just electric. I thought everyone showed what they could do and took risks, and it was just very exciting.
I thought it'd be interesting to see how they would react to homosexuality. So the two scenes, I don't remember. I chose Angels in America. There was another one. Well, Angels in America. And then I thought it would be interesting to see how they would react to the theme of homosexuality in their theater. Oh, and Take Me Out. They both focus on gay themes, so I wanted to see what their reaction to it would be, and then take that and figure out what that meant. Because if you perform the same scenes in America, just to compare the different reactions to them.
All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up. One wants to go through life with grace and beauty, blossoming infrequently but with exquisite taste and perfect timing. One wants, but one so seldom gets what one wants, does one? One does not. One gets screwed. Over. One dies at the age of 30, robbed of decades of majesty. Comes. I look like a corpse. Like a corpsette. Oh, my queen. You know you've hit rock bottom when even drag is a drag.
Are you? Who are you?
Who are you?
What are you doing in my hallucination?
I'm not in your hallucination, you're in my dream.
Are you wearing makeup?
So are you.
But you are a man.
The hands and feet, give it away.
I don't understand this. If I didn't recognize you before, I don't think... Are you some sort of imaginary friend?
No, aren't you a little old to have imaginary friends?
I have emotional problems. Took too many pills. Why are you wearing makeup?
I was in the process of applying my face, trying to make myself feel better. I swiped the new fall colors at the Clinique counter at Macy's.
You stole those?
I was out of cash. It was an emotional emergency.
Joe will be so angry. I promised him no more pills.
These pills you keep alluding to.
Valium. I take Valium. Lots of Valium.
And you're dancing as fast as you can.
I'm not addicted. I don't believe in addiction. I never drink, and I never do drugs.
Well, smell you, Nancy Drew.
Except Valium.
Except Valium and we fistfuls.
It's terrible. Mormons are not supposed to be addicted to anything. I'm a Mormon.
I'm a homosexual.
Oh, in my church, we don't believe in homosexuals.
In my church, we don't believe in Mormons.
What church do... Oh, I get it. Understand this. If I did never see you before, and I don't think I did, then I don't think you should be here in this hallucination, because my experience of the mind, which is where hallucinations come from, shouldn't be able to make up anything that wasn't there to start with, that didn't enter it from experience from the real world. Imagination can't create anything new, can it? It only recycles bits and pieces from the world and reassembles them into visions. Am I making sense right now?
given the circumstances, yes.
So when we think we've escaped the unbearable ordinariness and, well, untruthfulness of our lives, it's really only the same old ordinariness and falseness, rearranged into the appearance of novelty and truth. Nothing unknown is knowable. Don't you think it's depressing?
The limitations of the imagination?
Yes.
It's something you learn after your second theme party. Everything's been done before.
The world. Finite. Terribly, terribly. Well, this is the most depressing hallucination I've ever had.
I'm sorry, I do try to be amusing.
Oh, don't apologize, you. Well, I can't expect someone who's really sick to entertain me.
How on earth did you know?
That happens sometimes. The very threshold of revelations. You can see things. How sick you are. Do you see anything about me?
Yes.
What?
You are amazingly unhappy.
Big deal. You meet a Valium addict and you figure out she's unhappy. That doesn't count. Something else. Something surprising.
Something surprising.
Yes.
Your husband's a homo.
Ridiculous. Really?
Threshold of revelation.
Well, I don't like your revelations. I don't think you intuit well at all. Joe's a very normal man. He... Oh, God. Oh, God, do homos take, like, lots of long walks?
Yes, we do. And stretch pants with lavender coifs. I looked at you and there was...
Sort of a blue streak of recognition.
Yes.
Like you knew me incredibly well.
Yes.
Yes. Well, I have to go now. Get back. Something just fell apart. Oh God, I feel so sad.
I'm sorry. I usually say, screw the truth, but mostly the truth screws you.
I see something else about you.
Oh?
Deep inside, there's a part of you, the most inner part that's entirely free of disease. I can see that.
That isn't true.
Threshold of revelation. Home.
People come and go so quickly! I don't think there's any uninfected part of me. My heart is pumping polluted blood. I feel dirty.
For example, how I know that you have many activities. How I said that the theater therapy. You're working not only as actors, but you have also many directions. How to use the theater experience in social life and everything. So the question is, how do you surviving on theater? Means if person choose the theater profession, how is it with money, with everything? It's natural question because we have the same that it's many people are choosing the theater profession, but then they should somehow find how to be in the life with.
Mm-hmm.
So what is in America? What's usually?
Well, we work project to project. So we try to find one project, and then while working on that one, we're trying to find the next one for when that ends. Because we don't have companies for the most part. We just have productions and contracts for company or for show to show. So that's how we survive. Is we either find grants from the government or from various companies, individuals, or we get contracts for shows. So it's a very rocky financial, or it's very rocky financially.
But it's good because we just now started to look for grants and for to apply for projects and everything. And usually they are working, our students, they are working as private persons. They have other work together with professionals, with actors. It's also in America, I think.
Yes,
They are not only actors. They have some other works to survive, to be okay for life. It's for life, everyday life.
Yeah.
Okay.
We printed money in the prop shop.
Okay.
It's the easy way in theater. The ink ran, but that's okay. And we used my picture on the dollar. Fundraising is difficult, partly because of time. Most of our students are working and putting themselves through school by also working while they're going to school. And then in theater, we have productions that are going all the time. Students take on projects and have different responsibilities and projects. Time is the enemy in the fundraising. Just to find time and to find the energy and to have everyone fully committed to what it would need to raise funds. That's usually, and that's a new task for most of the students, trying to raise funds for a project. Some have done it in very small increments, but to raise, it's expensive nowadays to travel, and mainly the plane flight is the most expensive. Each time we've been there, the university there has housed us and fed us for the most part, and got us to and from where our airport was. But the flight is flight and safety money was just the most important thing to raise. So we were trying to raise $10,000, which doesn't seem a lot if you're looking at a national scheme, but on a local level for an individual project, it was a lot of money to raise. So students, we did, there were cabaret nights, and I may be mixing the years up here. Cabaret nights, we sold baked goods with the approval of the university during all the performances last year of all the UNO theater plays, whenever there was an intermission. We had a table out there that explained what it was for, and donations, it was announced from the stage before each performance. It was in the programs. We also sent mailers out. We had connections with the Sister City organization for fundraising. We had individual donors. Families of students donated money. There was a new thing that developed here is using, having an individual as part of the group applying for a FUSE or GRACA grant. FUSE is Fund for Undergraduate Scholarly Experience, and it's an open-ended grant that a student has to apply for, has to have a mentor on the grant, and it's for up to a certain amount of money to support essentially a research/creative activity project that's outside of the norm of the classes. And we've had students apply and receive those. And we've also had GRACA grants, which is the graduate student equivalent of that. So that helped also. Brought some money in and enabled us to have a full team of people going. The university, the dean has been very supportive, really wanting, believing in international exchange as a valuable learning tool for students. So she has been supportive. The university has been very supportive in arranging whatever finances they could. There isn't a large pocket of money to draw from, but getting insurance and other things, there are systems within the university, and everyone worked willingly to help us, enable us to go.
Neighbor to neighbor.
So, like, what do you think are some of the major differences between Lithuanian theater and like Canadian theater?
Kokie skirtumai, tarkim, kaip užsienį vaidina ir, tarkim, Kanadoje kažkur tai ir kaip Lietuvoje, ar didelis skirtumas?
Aha, yra. Aš Kanadoje mačiau Miserables, reiškia Vargdieniai Hugo, musiclas. Jo, jis mane labai nustebino, paveikė. Tai yra labai didžiulis šou buvo ten.
Big show.
Big show. Tai pas mus to dar nebūdavo, jo. Ir labai mane žavi ir stebina psichologiškai labai tiksli Amerikos aktorių vaidmens kūrimo metodika arba vaidyba.
He's really impressed with the psychological, psichologinį, kaip jūs sakėte?
Psichologiškai tiksli.
Psychological direct, like it's really psychological. He's really impressed that all the American actors, they act really psychologically. Like we use more movements, we use more body.
Jo. Labai minkšta, labai subtili, barchatinė tokia vaidyba.
It's like velvet, poor velvet.
Mane tai labai žavi.
He's really impressed about it, like comparing to American.
Jeigu lyginti, tai tarkim Europoje, tiesiog galbūt yra dalis kūrėjų, aktorių, kurie eina iš proto.
In Europe, there are like a lot of directors who are getting crazy about everything. Like
jie eksperimentuoja, jie ieško daugiau.
They're trying to find something new that never saw.
Formos teatro labai daug. Ir šiandien matėm formos teatras.
Like formally. Like a form, just
yra
a form.
Visokio.
Different kind of theaters.
Aš labai mažai pažįstu Amerikos teatrą ir nežinau Broadway'aus pjesės, kaip ten jos atrodo, bet tiek, kiek matau iš TV, iš filmų, tai
He doesn't know a lot about American theater, but as what he saw from TVs and some roles, Broadway or something, his impression is like that.
Aš tikiu, kad Amerikoje irgi yra crazy
teatras. He believes that also in America you have crazy theater.
Yes, and crazy actors.
And crazy actors.
And what are some of the bigger differences you see between American theater and Lithuanian theater?
I don't know so much, so good American theater, but I think in American you, as I know, you have very good voice, speech, stage speech. You have very good pronouncing everything. You have good energy. You very, how to say, your actors more. In acting, have more energy, and I think in our theater we have a bit for now. As I'm looking, we are more playing, more acting on pause, on silence, on everything. Not so many action. And your theater, I think, it's rather, especially like what we do not have in Lithuania is musical. Yeah, musical in America, I think it's very popular and I like it very much. Here in Lithuania, we do not have musical. Yeah.
Their theater is very much ensemble-based, relying heavily on physicality, and our theater is mostly language-based, I'd say, and then more realistic. Our theater is more realistic. Their theater is more like aware that it is theater and that it's a performance.
Do you see a big difference between our performances, like from our university, and comparing to your performances where you do in Nebraska? Like, is it a bit different or not really? Or you find something similar here?
And there's a lot of similarities. The big differences I see is you guys are much better at incorporating your whole body into the performance, where Americans are very much more heady. Yeah.
We haven't talked.
No, Darren, we haven't.
Did you get my messages, David?
Well, that's a very interesting way to put it.
Now that's a very interesting thing to say. Did I get your messages? Not your message, not singular. No, you asked, did I get your messages? And I can only answer some of them. Some, it seems I failed to get. Some, it seems.
Never sent.
Shit, Davey, it was just a question. Touch me. I'm 10 feet away from you, Davey. We should keep that distance. We should maintain that distance from which things can be seen in their entirety, okay? This is a day of reckoning. You flaring at me, Darren?
I wouldn't know if I was. Fleering? Why do you talk like you were born 100 years ago?
Is that a bad thing?
I don't know, it just seems a little uncontemporary.
Do we value the present over all other epochs? Do we think that everything has been evolving in the direction of the good, or has some of it, most of it, been sliding back, a de-evolution?
Shit, man, you're not gonna start this claiming dinosaurs.
I'm just saying, Darren, that is more often than not a small mind that considers himself enlightened. That enlightenment is most often the inability to see the darkness that surrounds oneself.
This isn't gonna go well, is it?
Oh, I think it is. I think this is going to go very well. How can things go poorly when two people speak their truth?
Fleer, are you making mock of me?
Just a little, Davey, the way that you like it.
That's over.
Okay.
Who are you, man? What are you doing?
What kind of nonsense do you find it fit to make? What kind of nonsense are you spewing out into the world? I stop saying I don't know the meaning of the word.
But I do, Davey.
Shit, man. We all have our demons. Some of us less disgusting ones than yours, but we shut up about them. Take them into little rooms, wrestle with them there, present a good face to the world until our demons are slain and we become what we claim we are. What kind of sordidness is this you've got going on? Why do you feel the need to splash your ugliness all over everything?
You told me to.
So now you feel the need to add slander to the mystery.
I thought you were giving me a sort of permission, Davey. I thought you were being kind.
You twist everything.
You said to reveal my true nature. I can only do that through love.
That's before I knew you were a pervert.
You said you knew me to be good, Davey. I loved you very much for that.
Have you been wanting to do me for 8 years, Darren?
No. Have it been your beard?
My beard?
Oh, everybody knows Davy Battles, but Davy Battles, a religious man, a continent man, nobody going around with Davy Battles is going to be whoring. Nobody going around with Davy Battles is going to be chasing tail. Was that the whole thing, Darren?
I don't think so.
Then what?
I liked you.
You lie.
Go to hell.
You lie in your ass. And until you correct yourself,
Screw
you will fall in profanity and vulgarity and all kinds of ugliness.
You're right. Yes, you're right. I need to clean up my language. I need to make my language more family appropriate, while at the same time conveying the truth of my heart. So let me put it this way, Davey. Drop dead.
I like the possibility to see different kind of theater, especially from young people theater, students from different countries, from Lithuania, Russian, Belarusian, America, and Latvia. They are bringing in one side the same, looks like the same. They are playing their young people, but in other side they have other possibility to show for us other theater. Yeah.
I think these projects are really important because it shows students that there's a world outside of Omaha and outside of the United States even. I think it's important to see the history behind different cultures because we don't have history the same way that they have history there. Like our history only goes back to like a few hundred years, but their history goes back before Christianity was even around. So it's been around for over 2,000 years. So it's interesting to see how that impacts their culture today, and it's because of that it's a completely different world than what we're used to.
I have always had wanderlust. There's something over the next hill. Let's go and see what it is. Always. It's still there. It has not faded. A great joy for me is travel. I just love it. It's an adventure for me. I love going down roads without knowing where this road leads. If there's a Y in the road, take it. So I'll take either one, and wherever it goes, that's fine with me. I don't mind getting lost. An extension of that is the journey through theater for me is very similar to that. It's going into terrain that's unfamiliar to me. Sometimes I access my own life through that, but it's someone else's view of that. It's not my view. I'm generally not an original playwright. I honor the work of other writers. And I see students taking on other personalities and exploring how they see the world. So international exchange is just this incredible tool for connecting with the world in a fairly short amount of time. For most of us, most of our trips were just 1 week over there, not full semesters abroad. And even that had a profound effect on the students. So for me, it's about it's connected to what I think theater does culturally in the world. It tells stories. It opens up other ideas. It opens up the possibility of understanding other people's points of view, other personalities, quirks, failings, joys. I think it brings a huge open palette to the human condition. And being able to actually travel is even closer to putting yourself in the shoes of other people than just portraying it off the written page and putting it on the stage and using your imagination. There you can actually have experiences with people that can broaden that. So that's what it is for me. It's a spiral that keeps moving to new places.
If I weigh the voice of your vice
and the value of your virtue,
it would to me more than suffice
to know what the world knows as you,
and off by the vice that you most count,
the virtue weighed at a discount. To you I entrust the purity of my soul and body.
show me your body, inside and out, no clothes on, bit by bit, part by part.
Plead for me that I may never,
Give me your
for
smells
the remainder of my life,
and your sweat.
soil my soul by any sin of impurity.
Give me what all you have. Feel my hands.
Protect my eyes.
Feel my
The
legs.
windows of my soul.
Feel my torso.
Anything that might dim.
My body begs.
The luster of my heart.
taste is my desire. What I eat doesn't matter. No one is hungrier than I. Eat and drink I, what I live for. I am gluttony, the undying hunger. I eat to satisfy, but never full, for my stomach craves more.
The model of self-restraint, never overindulging in the temporal. My body being a temple, I must treat it with ongoing respect. Self-abuse destroys the body. Bestow fortitude upon me.
If you're enjoying my downfall, well, be prepared as I laugh.
When all the hard work you have done will shatter and fall.
I have no satisfaction on earthly needs. I want more than what I have.
I shall have more riches, more wealth, more power. I shall get what I want when I want it.
Keep me from pettiness. Let me
be large in thought,
in word,
in deed.
Let me be done with
fault-finding,
self-seeking. May I
never be hasty in judgment and always generous. Lazy and slow. Stuck in one place. Help us to remember that we're living on this earth temporarily, unable to move.
Help us to be diligent.
Weighed down,
Our homes are just piles of sticks and rocks.
suppressed, and forgotten.
And they, along with everything in them,
Eyes closed against the world,
will someday be blown away to dust.
you forget to live, and life forgets you. Let what remains be beauty and love. Sloth, it strikes away at your will. Violent! Heating death! You deserve the punishment! Blood! Bile! Clean off smile!
Teach me to be sweet and gentle. Teach me to be sweet and gentle in disappointment. Teach me to be sweet and gentle in disappointment, in thoughtlessness, and in insincerity. May no one be less good for having come within my influence.
I am far too often influenced by what others think of me.
Dreams of fame and fortune.
Fill my every waking moment. Give me fame and fortune.
I am always pretending to be richer or smarter than I am.
Without it, I have nothing. If I should lose it all.
Please prevent me from trying to attract attention.
And to know I still have it gives me more comfort than any other thing will.
Show me how to be humble of heart.
When I talk to students, it brings me back to when I was a student and what college offered me. I grew up in a small town in New York City. I grew up, but for me it was a small town. I was never outside my neighborhood. It's like being in a small town. And I knew there was a world out there, and I knew it from media and television and films, but I was not a part of that world. And college enabled me to start traveling. I toured out of college and was going to other states. College was in a rural area, so I got to explore that. Students have talked a lot about never having left Omaha. And this is an opportunity to see the world that they to see the world firsthand, to meet people from other parts of the world, and it's a wonderful way to take a look at your own country and your own community. You step out of your comfort zone into a different place, and inevitably you're going to look back. You're going to return, and you'll look back and have a slightly different perspective on the world. What we get in the media is being presented to us in a package that wants to keep viewers, wants to keep an audience. It's essentially a version of selling. It's always been there. That's always been true. So it's filtered. If you go and experience it, it's unfiltered for you. You actually meet the people. You actually have a conversation with people. You see what the common bond is. You see what the differences are. It's actually makes manifest what theater really is, which is telling stories that aren't your own. And the travel enables you to at least connect, even if it's in a loose way, with other people's stories in their environment, in their world, and get their perspective on the world. I think also you can't travel the world and not have a response to who America is for them. The common thread in all of the visits to Charlotte was what a difference it made, both in performance and personally, to their view of America. That we were human beings. We were human beings with vulnerabilities and interests and desires and complex backgrounds. And that's the same thing they are. So we opened up possibilities for them as well as international travel, opening up possibilities from the learning environment for our students. There's a real sharing there. Yeah, I think that would be an interesting question for each of the students. I'm sure there were moments of surprise about the response to America or response to the students. Mm-hmm. Every time I felt by the time we left, there was a real closeness between the students from both universities, and they've remained at least internet friends ever since, and sometimes have helped them. When I returned, some of the students who I worked with in an earlier process were hosts of our students when they arrived. So there is a continuum that happens, and there's an enthusiasm for that. I think there's a perception that American students will come in and they'll be dealing with the political, global impact power of America and ego. That's what I think is one of the stories that goes around the world about America. And then, of course, they're meeting human beings who don't necessarily have great power and are very vulnerable and open to other people. So ego is not in the forefront. And I think that's been true of almost all of our students. I think the students there are surprised, and I think our students are surprised by their surprise. It's a very direct part of the learning experience for us, and very effective.
this?
It's the tornado program I recorded for you. Why?
For Christ's sakes, it's Danny's tape. You recorded over Danny's tape.
No, I didn't. Pride and Prejudice was on that tape. We were watching it last night.
Switch them.
What?
I watched Danny's tape later, after you went to bed.
Why didn't you take it out of the machine?
Why didn't you check to see what was in there?
I assumed it was the TV tape.
Jesus, Becca.
How was I supposed to know you snuck down here? God, I thought it was the TV tape.
It wasn't.
You know how I...
So it's gone. The whole thing?
I'm sorry.
It's the only copy, Becca.
Well, I didn't do it on purpose.
Are you sure?
What's that supposed to mean? You think I recorded over Danny's tape on purpose? Why would I deliberately record over it?
I don't know. You took the paintings off the fridge, Danny's
To
paintings,
save them, I put them in plastic.
and shoved them in a
For
box.
safekeeping!
Okay.
You think I didn't want that tape?
I don't. Obviously it wasn't on purpose, but
What?
maybe subconsciously you're trying to get rid of him. I'm sorry, that's how it feels to me sometimes. Every day it's something else. It feels like you're trying to get rid of any evidence he was ever here.
I didn't know that tape was in there.
I'm not talking
And
about the
paintings
tape, not just the
downstairs in
tape.
the box. You can look at them whenever
His
you want.
clothes, his
Why do we
shoes.
keep that stuff?
You're wanting to sell the house.
We already talked about that.
Taz! Sending Taz to your mother.
So what? I wanted one less reminder around here. That's perfectly normal.
Well, if I hadn't bought the
Well,
dog,
if I had run inside to get the phone, or if I had latched the gate.
I left the gate
Well,
unlocked.
I didn't check it! I'm not playing this game, Howie. It was no one's fault.
Not even dogs.
I know that.
Dogs chase squirrels. Boys chase
Are
dogs.
you telling me or yourself?
He loved that dog.
Of course he did.
And you got rid of him.
Right. Like I got rid of the tape. I get it.
It's not just the tape, Becca. I'm not talking about the tape. It's Taz and the paintings and his clothes and it's everything. You have to stop trying to erase him. You have to stop it. You have to stop.
Do you really not know me, Howie? Do you really not know how utterly impossible that would be to erase him? No matter how many things I give to charity or how many paintings I box up, do you really think I don't see him every second of every day? Then okay, I'm trying to make things a little easier on myself by hiding some of the pictures and giving away some of the clothes, but that does not mean I am trying to erase it! That tape was an accident. And believe me, I will beat myself up about it the rest of my life, I'm sure. Like everything else I could have prevented but didn't.
That's not what I want, Beck. It's not what I'm talking.
No! Because it feels like it is. It feels like I don't feel bad enough for you. Like I'm not mourning enough for your taste.
Come on,
or
that's
mourning
not-
in the right way. Let me just say, Howie, that I am mourning just as much as you are.
I know that.
And my pain is just as real and awful as yours. You're not in a better place. You're just in a different place. And that sucks that we can't be there for each other right now, but it's just the way it is.
This isn't... I can't do this like this. It's too hard. What would you suggest to someone else that is interested in a project like this?
I would say to do it. Well, first I'd say make sure that you can afford to do it and then do it, because it was like a twice in a lifetime opportunity. I probably won't be back to Lithuania, so it was great to like make connections there, meet people, talk to them. I guess the most important part of the trip, besides watching the theater at the festival, was like actually meeting the people who live there and developing relationships and connections with them, and seeing how their culture is very similar to ours, but also very different.
If there's a will, there's a way. And I was, I never had money, but I traveled any way that I was able to. I wanted to take a production to Edinburgh, and I had never done anything like that. I had never produced anything, and I found a way to do that. It's saying, this is my goal, and then making a plan. This is how I'm going to achieve it, and going for it. It's amazing what you can do. When I first got the invitation to Lithuania, graduate students sat opposite me at a table when I came in and said, I'm going to Lithuania next week because this happened and I'm going. And I've never been there before and I'm not sure what I'm going to. And the response was, aren't you scared? And I was surprised by that. Because for me, it was the opposite. I was thrilled by this new opportunity that suddenly dropped in my lap, and I decided, let's see how I can do that. And that's no different than anything. And theater is hard because it's not, it's a lot more work and a lot more, there are many difficult stresses in it that hopefully the public is not aware of. But if there's a will, there's a way. My hope is that a lot of our students leave here and create their own theater companies. That's in my head. And that could take a lot of different forms. I'd love to see an Omaha/international company make a connection with another company in the world, and then work out an exchange that happens at least once a year of productions, of ideas, scripts developed together, and do it long range. It's very easy to do now with Skype and internet and everything that we have accessible to us. And travel, other than the cost of it, which goes up and down, is not that difficult to arrange. So that would be a wonderful outgrowth of doing this type of project, is that people find a thrill in it and find a way to make that a part of their accomplishments in theater.
Hi, Sheila!
Hi, Norman.
Hi, Sheila!
Hi, Norman.
Hi, Sheila. My name's Norman Belansky. Welcome to my home. Won't you take a seat?
This is nice, Norman. It's cozy.
It used to be better when we had those little rugs, but Arnold's got them hid.
Arnold, ugh, he's not here, is he?
Oh boy, that's all we need. Oh boy.
Arnold, ugh.
Oh boy. Can I manage your coat?
I don't have one.
Oh boy.
I got to go at 9. The bus comes then. It's 7:30 now.
See this? It's a timer. It times things. Eggs and things. I'll just set it and then you won't be late.
I got to go at 9. It's 7:30 now.
All I do is set it like this on the 9, see? Don't worry, this thing works like a butler or somebody. My name's Norman Belansky. Won't you take a seat?
This is nice, Norman. It's cozy. I got these for you. I picked them.
You're welcome very much. They're pretty. You're welcome. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I got them in the lot near the Getty station. You know that lot?
That's good gas, Katie Gas. Oh, would you please like a donut?
Maybe we got a jar or something to put them in?
I got it on a plate in a pile. I don't think it'll fit in a jar.
Oh, gee, Norman, you're silly. I meant the flowers.
The flowers? Oh boy. I thought you wanted a jar for the donut. Oh boy, I'm sure silly. You ain't kidding. Oh boy.
I got to go at 9. The bus comes then.
Maybe I'll have it. Thank you.
Maybe we got a jar or something to put them in.
I'll get a jar or something.
This is nice, Norman. It's cozy. We don't have stuff on the walls in our home. Helen with the tick eats paper sometimes. It's awful.
Boy, you bet.
One time, she ate a picture of God. God and his friends eating. She just ate it. The frame's still there, but God's all eaten up.
God? She ate a picture of God?
One time,
Oh boy.
One time, Helen ate a whole roll of toilet paper. This is nice, Norman. It's cozy.
We used to have this poster with kitties on it, but Jack said it was too baby. I liked it though. Oh. Oh boy. Oh. Sheila, are the flowers under me?
I got them in the lot near the Getty station.
That's good gas, baby gas. Sheila, I think somebody sat on these. I'm very sorry, but I was just sitting down to have a donut and for us to talk.
That's okay, Norman.
But they're all broken.
That's okay. Flowers grow right back.
I feel awful bad about them, Sheila.
That's okay, Norman. Flowers break a lot. That's how come you get them for free.
Would you please like a donut?
I had spaghetti for supper.
Sheila! I got you this. It's a present. Can I have the bow?
No, it's pretty. I want it.
Oh, open it!
Oh, Norman, I feel a jumpy.
Me too. Can I have the bow?
No. Let me guess. It's a frog.
Nope. Oh boy, a frog would be hard to wrap.
Gee, Norman, you're silly.
I am? Oh boy.
Oh, Norman. Keys. You got me keys. Oh, Norman.
They're nice, huh? Try them on.
This is the best present I ever got.
Try them on. Put them on your belt loop. They'll fit good.
Which side?
Whatever makes you feel more balanced.
These are the most beautiful keys I ever saw.
Well, they should be. They're right from the movies.
Vakar ežerų ėjau, į tave mačiau, o tu žolė gulėja, į su savim tylę šnekėjęs, galbūt į to norėjo pabūti veiks. Į tylo girdėt, kaip vanduo į kruntą liejas, galbūt į to. Galbūt į aš. Mona dangus, tavo tamsu, tavo paukštis, mona naktie, žalios salo, tavo uolo, mona longa, mona dangus, tavo tamsu, tavo paukštis, mona naktie, žalios salo, tavo uolo, mona longa į duris. Iš kur mes turėjom suprasti, ko mum atrasti, į kur mum metė, ar ta stebuklinga lazdelė parodys mum kelią, akis liks mum man takelis ates girdėti, kaip vandau į krontalėjas, galbūt į to. Galbūt ir aš. Mona dangus, tavo tamso, tavo paukštis, mona naktie, žalio salo, tavo uolo, mona longa, mona dangus, tavo tamso, tavo paukštis, mona naktie, žalio salvo.